Hi everyone! Only two things that money can't buy. That's true love and homegrown tomatoes. If you agree with that, then today I will tell you about 5 interesting tomato varieties that are worth growing. Tomato Express is on its way. Take your seats, we're getting started. To begin with, I will tell you about a rare tomato variety from Tom Wagner called Orange Ghabbana, a variety that has a number of undeniable advantages and certainly left me with only positive experiences. The plants are not very tall and stopped at about 3 feet 4 inches or 1 meter, then topped out, so best to leave several stems on them. At the same time, not being the tallest gives this variety its advantages, allowing it to grow, for example, on the edge of the greenhouse, where a normal, high-growing variety can be cramped. The tomatoes are medium-sized, flat-round, yellow-orange with green stripes running down from stem to blossom end and look pretty. Bunches are quite long, so it's probably better to tie them. The tomatoes weighed about 7 ounces or 188 to 249 grams, and I only had to taste them. The flesh is dense, with an unusual amber color. The taste of the tomato is really explosive, refreshingly tart and sweet, and very pleasant. Literally citrusy, but if you compare it to citrus, it's more like an orange than a lemon. There is something special and memorable about it. So during the tasting I was absolutely satisfied with the result. Balanced and bright tomato flavor, which definitely adds even more pluses to this variety. Thanks to its density, the tomatoes store well, but because of their taste, there was simply no need to store them long. Orange Ghabbana is another great tomato bred by Tom Wagner. The next variety is called Red Pear Giant Gransasso Strain. It's no secret that tomatoes are especially popular in Italy, and red tomatoes are the most common there. And of course, in Italy there are many varieties of pear-shaped tomatoes, so they are often divided according to the region of cultivation. So the Gransasso strain in the name of this tomato means that it is grown in the area of the Gran Sasso, a mountain in the Abruzzo region of central Italy. Because it originates from the Mediterranean region, it is well adapted to the heat and actively bears fruit throughout the season. The plants are indeterminate with a strong vigor of growth and exceeded 6 feet 7 inches or 2 meters in height. All tomatoes are about the same size. They are beautiful, ribbed, red in color, with thin skin resembling small bags. The tomatoes weigh from 7 to 8 ounces, or nearly 200 to 232 grams, and there could be 5 to 6 of such fruits in a single bunch. On the cut, they appeared meaty and thick-walled, with clearly more flesh than juice. The taste is good, sweet, without any distinct acidity. A great option especially for processing into tomato products. These tomatoes do have quite a nice taste, but in Italy are most often used for roasting and making the famous thick sauces and juices. After all, as the Italians say, un pomodoro non passa mai inosservato nell'orto. A tomato never goes unnoticed in the garden. So Red Pear Giant Gransasso Strain is a variety to watch out for. And now I want to show you a tomato variety called Casey's Pure Yellow, which could not have been included in this review at all, and here is why. The fact is that I almost did not take care of the seedlings of these tomatoes, and they did not grow in the best conditions, so it was small, weak, and I was already thinking of not planting it in the greenhouse at all. However, I had some free space and decided to take a chance. As you can see, it was worth it. The plants have literally transformed. They quickly developed both root system and green mass and vigorously gained growth, so fast that I had to stop them at a height of 5 feet 11 inches or 1.8 meters in the middle of August. The fruits are large and gathered in heavy clusters, yet it's not necessary to tie them, as due to the fact that the tomatoes are big and the clusters are not very long, so the fruit rests on the stem finding support, which is very convenient and greatly simplifies the care of the plant. By the way, Casey's Pure Yellow appeared as a result of a mutation of green giant tomato, and it was discovered discovered by Jeff Casey of Canada in 2007. A distinctive feature of the variety is the large potato-type leaves. The stated fruit weight is up to 14 ounces or 400 grams or more, and that's exactly what it turned out to be. On average, the tomatoes weighed about 15 to 16 ounces or 418 to 444 grams. Yes, they may not have been the right shape, but they were still beautiful, and with a hint of being bicolored, as I found pink touches inside. The taste didn't let me down either. It was sweet, with a subtle tartness. A very, very, very juicy tomato. My personal feeling is as if it was 99% juice. To get such a big and sweet fruit from such a weak seedling was a real surprise for me. Casey's Pure Yellow is one of the most exciting tomato adventures of the last season, and definitely a great and tasty tomato. Next, I want to show you a dark fruited tomato variety called Tartaric Bay. It's indeterminate, but at the same time not the tallest one. Perhaps it lacked nutrition and barely made it to 4 feet 11 inches or 1.5 meters. The tomatoes are of medium size and do not form large clusters. When ripe, they take on a classic dark red color. With all my efforts, I have not been able to establish the exact history of the origin of this variety, but at least I was able to grow it and try it. Weight of tomatoes was a little more than 7 ounces or 200 grams, so I cannot say that the yield in the first season was great, but the taste turned out to be very good. Tomatoes are sweet, with a slight acidity and exotic flavor. It reminded me of the taste of black cream. Those who grew it will understand me, and in appearance they are a bit similar too. In general, I liked the Tartaric Bay variety, and perhaps in the next few years it will be able to show better yields. And finally, let's talk about green when ripe tomatoes, particularly the tasty Evergreen variety, introduced in Ohio back in 1958, so it has been known for more than 60 years. The plants are indeterminate but not too tall, reaching a height of 5 feet 7 inches or 1.7 meters by mid-August. One bunch produced 2 to 3 flat round fruits of green color. When fully ripe, as with many other green when ripe varieties, the tomatoes turn a golden green color, so it will be easy for you to know when it's time to harvest. Tomato weights ranged from 7.4 to almost 10 ounces or 209 to 280 grams. Therefore, I will also rate the yield as average. The flesh is beautiful, light yellow-green in color, and the taste was as good as the appearance. It was excellent, characteristic of the best examples of green fruited tomatoes, for which I have a particular liking. It's evergreen, but I would add that it's also ever-tasty, rich and complex, sweet and tangy, reminiscent of Big Green Dwarf or Grubb's Mystery Green. It's really deep, refreshing and pleasant. This is undoubtedly one of the tastiest green tomatoes for a salad, and I knew it literally from the first bite. The tasty evergreen tomato may not be the variety you'll be picking in buckets, but it's the one you'll be eating very first. Well, that was another review of 5 tomato varieties that I wanted to tell you about today. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe. You can find reviews of many other tomatoes on my channel. Leave the names of your favorite varieties in the comments. I know that you definitely have them, because the world would be completely different if it did not have homegrown tomatoes. Thanks for watching and, of course, love tomatoes, grow tomatoes. This is the Lucky Garden channel, and see you soon.